Is your job making you like irritated and miserable? And it's affecting other aspects of your life because it was doing that to me. Hi, I'm Ashley. I'm 28. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and I quit my job without another job lined up. That was my first video, and I actually in that video I was like talking through the process of like knowing I had to quit, knowing I had to leave. But what I didn't know was that I'd leave the next day. Like I just couldn't take it anymore. And to be honest, that video was filmed in January, and I did put it up in February because I also just kept on like holding on to it. Like, oh, I was in disbelief. But looking back, I can tell how sad and tired I was. But anyway, I want to talk about not just me quitting, but about the process it took to get there and about the future, because now that's in the past. So, just to give more background, in 2022, I got my first job in cybersecurity as a cybersecurity consultant. Um, I got laid off at the end of 2022. I spent all of 2023 interviewing, kept going to networking events, kept applying. By the end of 2023, I was like, oh, this is not going to work. I need some stability in my life, and I need it now. I reached out to someone at like the old agency I used to work at, old job I used to work at, and there was a position open that I could do. I didn't burn any bridges with that job before I left. Also, I do want to point out that I'm not going to talk more so like about the place I used to work, but more so just about me and the process it takes to get there. So anyway, ended up applying. I got interviewed, ended up working there, and I was like, yes, finally some stability in my life. I worked there before. I knew a lot of the people that work there, and I still had a plan in mind. I was like, okay, I'm going to maybe work here for 6 months, gonna work on projects, keep interviewing. At the time, I was still interviewing, and like this isn't permanent. Well, a year passed, and it came to a point where I was like, I have to take back control of my life because my dreams are getting so far away from me that I couldn't like bear it anymore. And it was not an easy decision to make. It came with a lot of tears and a lot of discomfort. But at the end of the day, I'm glad I made that decision. So I was like just basically doing counseling. Like I talked to kids. I was teaching parenting classes. I don't have any children, so that was interesting. But anyway, I was talking to kids doing parenting classes, like prevention education. And as the months went by, I was like, what am I doing? I wanted to still work on like projects and code, but I was honestly so tired, so emotionally drained that I couldn't see myself like I was so tired and so emotionally drained that I didn't even want to eat after I came home from work, which is like really embarrassing. But I was just depressed because every day I was just going to work, putting my pants on, pouring into other people, and I wasn't pouring into myself. And it began to wear me down, like emotionally, mentally, physically. As the months went on and like I got new tasks assigned, again, just like wearing down on me. But, it was only 35 hours a week. And I was just like, oh, like I can just do this one more day. Or the weekend's coming up. And I have to ask myself, do you want to be the type of person that only lives and enjoys the weekend? Do you want to be the type of person that has no passion for what they're doing at their job? is your job making you like irritated and miserable? And it's affecting other aspects of your life because it was doing that to me. For example, if like let's say I meet someone new and they'd be like, "Oh, what do you do for work?" I wasn't really proud of what I was doing and how I was feeling. So I was just like, I don't need to be friends with this person. Like I just don't feel good about myself right now. But I also wanted to take accountability. Yes, I could have done what I need to do, code, do projects. And I wish I was the type of person that could just like move forward. I began, my dog is here if you hear him. I began to get signs that like I wasn't supposed to be here. And as the months went by, it was just stronger and stronger. For example, I'd look around and I'd be like, I don't really relate to any of these people. I don't want to talk about the things that they want to talk about. Um, Also, like physically, like my stomach would hurt as soon as I got to work. Like, and it would just be like a loud noise. I just felt so much resistance like in my body. I don't know how else to describe it, but that. Another thing that was impacting me was my ability to say yes and no, and I just couldn't trust myself at that point. Um, my manager would like ask me to do a task. I knew I could do it. Um, but I automatically wanted to say in my mind, I was just like, no, I don't want to do this. But I said yes because it was my job. And I didn't want to like cause more friction. But if I'm not saying yes 35 hours a week to things I want to say yes to, but if I don't have the agency to say yes and no to the things that like I want to do or have to do, it just became a point where like I couldn't trust myself. Like I thought that I wanted to go to school, but I was just like, I don't know if that could happen. Like, would they accept me? Um, would they like look at my resume and be like, no? I just it just felt wrong internally. Um, but again, we're gonna fast forward. Um, by November, December, let's say, I was getting more signs that I need to leave. Um, I actually got really, really sick. Like I got COVID for the first time ever. And I was like, this is weird. The time January came around after I was sick and literally having like nightmares about continuing to be where I wasn't supposed to be, I had to tell my manager I resigned. Um, and I didn't expect to do it that day. I remember like us talking about like future plans and future goals. And the more we got into the year, I literally my stomach started hurting. I looked at the calendar and I was just like, actually, I have to resign. I know someone would love doing this work. Someone would love it here, but it's not me. She took it very well. And yeah, it felt so good to speak my truth. You know the phrase like cat got your tongue or frog in your throat? It just felt like I could speak again. Or like maybe like Ariel in a Little Mermaid. But fast forward to present day. I actually applied to my community college like 30 minutes before the deadline. I'm not even sure. I'm pretty sure I didn't fill out the application with like the right information, but I just knew I had to send it in. And then the next day, I was like, "Hey, I applied. They have community colleges have rolling admission." And I got in. So yay. Like I was so happy. You would have sworn I got into Harvard. This is actually my third time going to college. We'll talk more about that later. But now I can say that I'm a full time student and I'm a network and technology major. And I feel so much more fulfilled. I feel so happy that I am looking forward to my goals and my future again, and I'm closer to that. School does not come very easy to me, hence why this is my third time. But I'd rather do this type of hard than do that. Sometimes in life you have to choose your hard, you know? We don't always get the perfect life. We don't always do things that we want to do. But I think I'm kind of separating, thinking about like what I want for my life. It's doing things that I want to do and I'll do what it takes to get there versus doing things that like I literally have to do because I'm in survival mode and this is just how it has to be. I'm really thankful for that job. It served me how it needs to serve me. I was able to pay my bills, have some stability in my life again. And, if I didn't work there, maybe I would have still maybe I wouldn't be where I'm at right now to the point where I'm just like, I know what I want to do and I'm going to do it. Um, some things, some situations just serve their purpose and it's a lesson and you got to move on. I'm back to being challenged. Um, I'm actually just learning like new information and learning new ways to learn it, and that makes me happy. When I was stuck and complacent, I didn't have the bandwidth or honestly the curiosity to like even want to continue learning, and I never want to be that person again. What to say is it was really scary at first, um, taking a leap of faith, just like knowing that things aren't going to work out. Um, and sometimes that's better than continuously holding on to something that you need to let go of. I could have stayed and just done school full time, but I know my brain doesn't work like that. And I would have just been hitting the same walls. Um, but it's never too late. I have 2 years to 30. And that's very important to me because I'm starting over, or more so starting from experience. And it's never too late to go after an education, a job, a career change, get out of a relationship. And I am documenting this process because I know my life is going to change. I just have to put forth the effort that I need to. I can't pour into other people and expect that I'd have enough for myself. And choosing yourself is never easy, especially if you have other obligations. But this is an update. I'm really happy where I'm at now. I actually have accounting class in a couple hours. And if you're also on this journey or just want to see me go through this, please subscribe. In the comments, like, have you ever made a change, a career change, or done something that you were afraid to do, and where are you now? Um, okay, I am done. Bye.